How's it going, everybody? It's Pilot Flame, and we are back with another FPL video. And today we're going to be taking a look at the best captaincy choices for Game Week 28. Finally, a non-double game week, so only single game weeks to be had. So you got to get the captaincy choice right on the first go. But we have a good lineup for you today. 4 normal captains that I think could be quite good based on fixture or form, and then one that's kind of a bit of an out there differential sort of captaincy choice that we always like to do and save for last. If you haven't done so already and you are enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like on the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new, and turn those notification bells on so that you can get the content as soon as it is readily available. And give us a follow over on Twitter so you can keep up to date with all the different video posts and content going out there. And drop us a follow over on Twitch so that you can see when we go live for our FPL preview as well as deadline streams over on Twitch. It's PilotFlame226. There'll be a pinned comment down below that you can check out to see when we go live next. We will be doing back-to-back streams for this week, Wednesday and Thursday, 7 p.m. EST for our preview and deadline streams for Game Week 28. So without further ado, let's see what captaincy options we have for you this week. So the first player we have on our list is none other than Harry Kane, coming off a massive 19-point haul, 2 goals, 2 assists for him. He's found a new strike partner, Gareth Bale, getting in among the goals as well, getting himself 2 goals. And I think that Bale being in the team just makes Kane better. It makes Kane have to rely a lot less on having to create and can kind of get involved in getting around the box and score the goals himself. Also knowing that he has another target to hit with his long-range passing in Bale and not just have to rely just on Son, which makes it very difficult for defenses to deal with 2 threats out on either flank. Also, Bale obviously offers something different. He's not necessarily going to provide that kind of direct running like Son. He's going to be, a little bit more of a, shift the ball out from underneath the feet and shoot long range, whereas Son can do that, but it likes to run in behind a little bit more, and I think we prefer the kind of easier 1v1 finishes. Whereas Bale definitely can be a little bit more long range and poses a bigger threat from set plays, as his aerial ability is quite good. And this all benefits Harry Kane. 16 goals, 13 assists this season. I expect him to be on 20 and 15 respectively on the stats probably by the end of the season. And Arsenal away, a fixture that he very much likes. Definitely likes scoring versus Arsenal, whether it be home or away. I think he's got, for all the London derbies that he's played, he's got, I think it's like a goal per game or something on average. It's pretty insane. And I think that Bale and Son, obviously wait until you see the Europa League lineup and see if he gets rested, which I probably expect him to do. See if Bale plays, see if Son plays. I don't think they should have too much trouble. I believe they have Dynamo Zagreb. I may have butchered up that name, but fairly easy tie, I would say, very favorable tie, and they are at home first, so it's not like they have to travel too much. So Kane should be front runner for the captaincy option this week. I'm certainly considering it, and if you don't have Kane, probably get him in, and I would even do it for a hit and look to captain him this game week. Now, FERNANDES is somebody who continues to perform. 16 goals, 12 assists from a midfielder, although quite a few of those goals have been from penalties. However, he has to score them, and as we've seen from other teams, not so easy, is it? But yeah, getting a penalty versus Man City, which kind of threw off their whole game plan. Double-digit hole again, and I think that he is just going from strength to strength. Once Pogba's back in the team, that may take away from some of his points, but I think it just makes United better as a team in general and allows him to play further off the pitch, which means you'll probably see more open play goals, so it doesn't really change too much. They do have a difficult fixture this week, though. West Ham at home. West Ham have been doing very well under David Moyes and are currently in the top 4, and nobody would have thought of that at the start of this season after what they had barely scraped relegation last season. But I think Fernandes, somebody who can do well in pretty much any game. It is a home fixture where United haven't done as well, so I would think that, it would be something that you would maybe say, okay, maybe as if it's away from home, might be more favorable. But again, it is a home fixture. He's probably going to be over 100% effective ownership, which means if you don't captain him, you're going to see a red arrow, especially after getting another 10 points versus Man City as well. And I think that, with him being in another effective, big game, as it were, West Ham, they're in the top 4. That is considered a big game. They're one of the tougher teams that United still have left to play. He's just going to define stats, he's an enigma in that sort of sense. He's kind of like the way Salah was when he scored like 30 plus goals a couple seasons ago. Just somebody that can just drop a double-digit hole whenever he, even isn't playing well. He can just all of a sudden just be like, okay, he's bad for the first 60 minutes. Oh, goal assist, United are now up 3-0, and Fernandes is on 3 bonus points. You just never know. I personally don't have him in my team. I'm taking the risk of not getting him this week and hopefully to get him back in game week 30. So yeah, hopefully it doesn't damage my team too much, but I think he's definitely a great shot for the captaincy this game week. Now, Kevin De Bruyne is the next player we have up on our list. Man City have a very favorable fixture, Fulham away. And the reason I've chosen to put De Bruyne up here is I think that he's going to play more minutes than the likes of any other basic Man City attacking asset. We'll have to obviously see who they put out versus Southampton. But I expect them to go pretty much full strength-ish because they're going to want to play players that are going to have to beat Fulham. They are an informed team at the moment, Fulham, although their position in the table doesn't show it. But Pep Guardiola will know that they have to be able to beat this team. They've lost 3 points versus Man United, and they don't want to get into bad habits to where if they were to drop points or lose another game, then you're looking at single-digit points for Man United being behind them if they were to win, and then you start to have those kind of thoughts creeping in the back of your head. Are we going to throw this away? Do I have to start prioritizing the league again? And that's going to throw a bit of kind of spanner in the works when it comes to them wanting to focus on the Champions League. So I think they're going to go full strength until pretty much they have it more or less sewn up, which means De Bruyne and Gundogan will likely play. And the reason, like I said, I've chosen De Bruyne is because it is a good fixture for him, but I also think that with him scoring his 14 points last time versus Fulham, and he's also doing another massive hole, so I think he can definitely do it again versus Fulham. And he had 8 chances created versus Man United, which is quite a lot, and he came out with nothing. So he definitely is due a big hole, and he's been on the goals imminent table, which is the table on Fantasy Football Scout, which basically shows that based on the number of chances that he's had, he should definitely have scored way more than what he has done. I believe he's like 3 to 4 goals or something like that behind the XG that he's had this season, which is absolutely insane. So he should definitely be scoring a lot more, and I definitely expect him to do that sometime soon. Will it be versus Fulham? I think it could potentially be. I think that City will have more than enough to beat Fulham, and I think he's definitely worthy of the armband in Game Week 28. Now, a man who's blanked 3-3 but has a fantastic fixture in Game Week 28 is none other than Jamie Vardy. I personally have him in my own team, and I'm considering giving him the armband as a differential captain this game week. Under 20% ownership, has 12 goals, 9 assists on the season, and he's got back-to-back 2-pointers, and I think that that's mainly due to the fact that there's a lack of creativity with James Maddison out of the team, Harvey Barnes out of the team. However, there are stats that show that Jamie Vardy should do well versus Sheffield United because they are not doing great at all. He also got 8 points last time versus Sheffield United, getting a very late winner off of a mistake made by one of the Sheffield United midfielders, which saw Vardy in on goal 1v1, and he slotted it home and then shattered the corner flag into a million pieces. I think that's the right game, if I remember correctly, but yeah. He hasn't gone more than 3 games apart from this run without a return. So unless it was through injury where he missed 3 games in a row. This is the only spell, so I expect him to come back and get some type of return, even with their injury woes. And Sheffield United are they're not new to injuries either. They've had defensive injury woes. They've had players out for the season. They've had players out for long spells. They have a makeshift backline, and they are top for XG conceded with 11.64 over the last few matches. Big chances conceded with 19, and they're in the bottom 5 for chances and big chances conceded per minute. They are not doing great defensively at all, and I think that Jamie Vardy can use his poaching skills as well as his being able to get in behind, pace and kind of ferocity as it were, to be able to kind of hurt Sheffield United, who pretty much are already relegated at this point. It's just a matter of what can they salvage in terms of development for next season. And I think Leicester, if they're going to want to stick in the top 4, these are the games that they're going to have to win. And they're going to have to win big to make sure they boost their goal difference back up after dropping points over the past few weeks. So Jamie Vardy, an outside shot for the captaincy in this game week. And the last player that we have as our differential captain is Richarlison, someone who's been flourishing under Ancelotti's new 4-4-2 style of system, where he basically claimed that he wanted to accommodate, Richarlison in the fact that he didn't want him to have to do, the strict defensive duties that a wide forward would have to do. Meanwhile, Calvert-Lewin was able to get away with not doing those defensive duties. He wants them both to have equal attacking opportunities. He thinks that they're both good as a pair, rather than Richarlison on the left and Calvert-Lewin directly through the middle. And it also causes teams problems that play with a back four, because they're able to put kind of Richarlison on the slower center back and Calvert-Lewin on the center back that isn't good in the air, and they're able to swap from side to side and able to do what good pair forwards do, which is cause center backs problems. And like I said, he's the informed player. They also have a kind run of fixtures with a blank kind of smashed in between the middle. With Burnley and Newcastle are two notable fixtures in that run over the next four. And we also mentioned him in our teams to target our watch list video, so make sure to check that out as well. And also, let's not forget, Everton don't get many penalties, but if Sigurdsson is to be dropped for James Rodriguez, who's supposed to be back sometime soon, then Richarlison should be on penalties. There's only been a couple of penalties when everyone's kind of been on the pitch, but Sigurdsson's always been on the pitch and has taken them. And there's one at the beginning of the season, which I remember, where Sigurdsson wasn't playing. Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin, and James were all on the pitch, and Richarlison ended up taking the penalty. So I think he is still on pens. I think he still wants to take penalties, and he's someone who can definitely hurt Burnley, who have been shipping goals for fun, basically, which isn't a good thing, and could find themselves back in the relegation battle sooner rather than they would like. And Richarlison's also somebody who's quite good in the air as well, so could definitely be quite combative alongside his strike partner in Calvert-Lewin, versus the Burnley centre backs could definitely get the better of them as well on set play. So Richarlison, somebody, if I'm going to be bringing in an Everton player, definitely looking at him. Then maybe Calvert-Lewin and Digne, but he looks to be the man in form and could be an outside shout for the captaincy this game week. And that's going to do it for our 5 best captaincy picks for game week 28. Not a double game week. I almost said a double game week, but it seems like we've had so many doubles in a row. But we got a blank game week next week as well, so it's going to be few and far between on the captaincy shouts for that one. But if you are enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. It greatly helps out the channel, as well as turn those notification bells on so that you can see when the content goes live and is readily available. And drop us a follow over on Twitter so you can see when we post videos, as well as other different things that we're retweeting and kind of posting over there. And give us a follow over on Twitch so that you can see when we go live for our Twitch preview and deadline streams for FPL. 7 p.m. EST will be the time for both Wednesday and Thursday, back-to-back days, back-to-back streams for Game Week 28 preview and deadline stream this week. So make sure to come check us out over there. There's a pinned comment down below which you can check out the date and time for those. Thanks for watching, and until the next one, take care.